Good morning and thank you for sharing your day with us. I am Louisa here to keep you informed and entertained. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新最有趣的新闻。Tens of thousands of North Koreans stood out in the cold, wailing emotionally to bid a final farewell to their late leader Kim Jong-il. The first day of the two-day ceremony was led by his successor, his third son Kim Jong-un, who walked beside the hearse through a snowbound Pyongyang. North Korea 昨日为金正日举行葬礼，他的车队游行市区，接受民众哀悼。
North Korea says goodbye to its dear leader, Kim Jong-il. His son and successor, Kim Jong-un, led a funeral procession in Pyongyang. Behind Kim Jong-un was his uncle, Jang Song-taek, with whom he will be sharing power. Hundreds of soldiers bowed in unison as the hearse drove past Kumsusan Square. They were joined by tens of thousands of others who braved the freezing weather to mourn their leader as snow blanketed the capital. One of the myths surrounding Kim Jong-il was that he could control the weather, and the temperatures on this day were unusually cold. Kim Jong-il ruled North Korea since his father died 17 years ago, and he is revered in his nation of 25 million people. State television showed images of grieving civilians lining the streets, weeping and flailing their arms as the funeral cortege of black Lincolns and Mercedes sedans moved slowly down the wide avenues.
The snow is falling endlessly like tears. How could the sky not cry when we've lost our general, who was a great man from the sky? As we're separated from the general by death, people, mountains and sky are all shedding tears of blood. Dear Supreme Commander,
soldiers in uniform wept and groups of women were inconsolable. Some were splayed on the ground, while others tried to move closer to the funeral procession and were stopped by security.
As I see the snow fall, I shed more tears thinking about our general's hard work.
Even children joined in the mourning. Kim Jong-il's passing sets up the reclusive state for only its second transition of power since the Korean War. The country was looking at 2012 as the year that was supposed to mark its transformation to a strong and prosperous nation. But Kim has left an impoverished, isolated North Korea, and the world awaits how the new leadership will chart the country's path.
And now to other news. Up to 1,000 residents have fled their homes after cold lava flows from the volcano poured into nearby villages in eastern Indonesia. 4 people have been killed, while dozens are being treated in the hospital for injuries. 印尼的 volcano 爆发后，产生火山泥冲入村庄，有上千名居民撤离。
Cold lava flows from Indonesia's Gamalama volcano surged through a nearby town, killing 3 people. The flows were triggered by 4 days of heavy rain and caused extensive damage to the capital of the province. Several people were treated in hospital after being hurt by falling objects or struck by rocks. The volcano, almost 2 kilometers high, erupted earlier this month, forcing thousands of residents to flee. Indonesia, the world's 4th most populous country, is on the Pacific Ring of Fire and is prone to natural disasters.
And can you boost your IQ points by spending more time in school? The recent research seems to say so, and our Jennifer Zhang has the complete details. 挪威最近有一份研究指出，孩子受教育的时间越长 ，IQ 也会越高，是真的吗？带你来看看。
According to a group of Norwegian researchers, spending more time at school may possibly increase one's intelligence. Through looking into the data of more than 107,223 students, researchers found that students' IQ were raised after the regional governments in Norway increased the schooling years of compulsory education. Between 1955 and 1972, the regional governments have increased compulsory schooling from 7 to 9 years, meaning that young adults left school at the age of 16 rather than 14. It is found that an unusually large increase in both average education and average IQ is apparent at the same time as the reform was introduced. In addition, researchers said that one additional year in school raised IQ by 3.7 points. Even though the link between a higher IQ and more education seems to be established, researchers say that it's more difficult in determining whether spending more time in school actually improves IQ, because it's possible that children with a natural higher IQ are those who choose to spend more time in the education system.
And now to entertainment news. Who are the most influential singers in the year of 2011? Well, let's take you on a music journey to find that out. 今年快要结束了，接着就带你来回顾音乐界有哪些精彩的歌手。We saw the passing of the troubled young star Amy Winehouse at the age of 27, who left her musical brilliance behind, with her soulful songs continuing to reappear on the top of the charts. It is fair to say that she was the one that got the new generation interested with the simple verities of soul. As we say our goodbyes to Amy, a new star is born. Adele willed her way to the #1 spot on the charts of 11 countries and snatched 3 Grammy Award nominations with Rolling in the Deep. While she is recovering from her throat surgery, the fans are belting out the lyrics in the shower. The charm of rock and roll. British rock band Coldplay's 5th studio album, Milo Xyloto, has impressed listeners around the world. The latest album made it to the top position in 17 countries and sold 3 million copies worldwide. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday. Wherever he went, you're bound to hear ear-splitting screams. Justin Bieber's Christmas album has made the young talent loads of cash, and he also became the first solo artist to have 3 #1 albums before turning 18 years old. And of course, his latest attempt of playing Santa with Mariah Carey and All I Want for Christmas Is You also attracted the young and the old. Lady Gaga is no doubt the biggest pop star in the world as of today. And with millions of little monsters following her around, she has the power to make some significant changes. And she doesn't let her fans down. She took the anti-bullying issues straight to the top, to the White House. Named as the Woman of 2011 by Taylor Swift, was also the biggest victor of the night at the American Music Awards after grabbing the top honor as the Artist of the Year. With songwriting skills that people absolutely adore, we know for a fact that the country pop singer is set to put her blood, sweat, and tears into her 2012 album that is mostly consisted of sad tunes. Be ready to cry your eyes out. Bruno Mars's Grenade, featured in his debut album Doo-Wops and Hooligans, was the most watched online video of the year. No need to struggle for love, Bruno. You have already won ours. The 26-year-old singer-songwriter also took part in making a tune for the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, which is one of the most highest-grossing films of 2011. And how can we forget the duo who light up the party every time? LMFAO's party rock anthem not only is the ultimate song at nightclubs, it has beats that will get you on the dance floor, even if you have no idea what you're doing. To movie news, We Bought a Zoo is now playing in theaters, and now the stars are opening up about how it's risky business working with the wild and furry ones. 温馨家庭片我们买了动物园现在正在上映中，剧中的明星也跟大家分享跟动物拍片的有趣经验。
In the movie We Bought a Zoo, Matt Damon plays a dad trying to hold his family together by doing just what the title suggests, buying and moving with his kids into a run-down zoo that they begin to rebuild. During filming, Damon worked alongside animal stars, including snakes, lions, and tigers. In one scene, he even comes face to face with a giant grizzly bear, which the Bourne Identity star said the experience was quite stunning.
The grizzly bear was an impressive creature. I mean, over almost 13 feet tall when he stood up, which is just enormous. And he always kind of seemed like he was deciding whether or not he was going to just eat everybody. And there was really nothing that could be done.
As for co-star Scarlett Johansson, who plays an overworked zookeeper struggling to keep the business running, it feels quite surreal to show up to a set full of wild animals.
It's kind of crazy to come to work and it's 6 a.m. and you're standing there with Matt Damon and the two of you are staring at 3 tigers staring right back at you and everybody's yawning. And you're just like, this is crazy. There's 3 tigers over here. My God, I'm exhausted. The tigers are looking back at you like, what are we doing here? I need to be sleeping right now. Yeah, it's just strange.
The film is based on the true story of British journalist Benjamin Mee, who uprooted his family and bought a zoo after the death of his wife. The role of a caring, hands-on family man came naturally to Damon, who has 4 young daughters.
And I really was able to relate, you know, in a way that I couldn't have 10 years ago. You know, I just really, it was sad for me to think about, you know, a guy trying to do this without his partner and what that would feel like, you know, and how he would feel like a failure every day, just, you know, just because he knew that had she been there, it would have been just that much better. Yeah, so at any rate, it was very easy to relate to.
For Thomas Hayden Church, who plays Damon's brother and his voice of reason, the Academy Award nominee said that he couldn't let go the opportunity to work with Damon, one of his favorite actors and one of his favorite directors, Oscar winner Cameron Crowe.
I just think he's a remarkably gifted, grounded dude as an actor, and also a really great writer. Like, he would find things, and every now and then he'd have an idea of, you know, maybe you want to like tweak this a little bit when we, you know, and what if you said this? And I mean, he has a really keen ear for dialogue and had a, you know, sort of like set little bits of nuance in the interaction between the characters. And then Cameron, you know, just a legendary writer-director and a guy that I really consider to be of my generation, and he's just a little bit older than I am, and I really felt like I've grown up with his movies, whether he's written them or written and directed them. And
We Bought a Zoo opens in Taiwan theaters December 23rd and has garnered a total of $14.6 million in North American box office.
Something great will come of it.
And that is all the time we have for this edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Now, don't go anywhere. We got more news for you coming up here on CTS.